Today I want to talk about artifacts, because they are the most interesting items in the game. They have powerful and unique effects, but players sometimes have a wrong understanding on how some of them work. In this video I want to go over 5 different uses for different artifacts. First up, let's talk about Death's Defiance on Tahm-Kench. This one has always been an interesting question because of the way his passive works. He reduces each instance of damage by a specific amount. If a unit holding Death's Defiance gets hit by any source of damage, then half of that damage gets applied as a 4-second true damage dot. A lot of players have asked themselves, how effective is Death's Defiance on Tahm-Kench, and I tried a few variants trying to make him unkillable. It's a bit hard to find a good setup to showcase the interaction, since there are so many factors that influence the outcome. However, this fight at the start of stage 2 should be easy enough to follow. Here, Tahm is by himself against a team consisting of Olaf, Tahm, Corki and Kale. At the start of the fight, we can see that the physical damage from most units is non-existent. In fact, Kale has 0 physical damage because the 15 flat reduction is enough to reduce her damage to 0. As for the true damage ticks, they are extremely small because the damage is spread over 4 seconds, but those ticks are not reduced by Tahm. If you check for damage blocked, it's also missing the indicator for blocked true damage. Sadly, part of my recording is missing here, but trust me, if you do the math on the true damage ticks, then you quickly come to the conclusion that Tahm-Kench doesn't interact with the true damage part of Death's Defiance, and the dream of a super Kench has to be put on hold for now. The next artifact I want to showcase is Trickster's Glass. This item will create a weaker copy of a unit that also cannot hold any items. Same as I said before with Double Trouble, if you use this item or an augment like Hologram in combination with Twin Terror, then the copy will trigger the augment. This means you might have to make the decision of selling the bonus 2-star unit so you can run a 3-star unit twice. But you should notice by now, so I want to show some other augment interactions as well. Here we have both Metalheads and Talent Surge with a Trickster's Glass on Gnar. Once combat starts, you can see that both Gnars will jump to the enemy side thanks to Talent Surge, and both of them will receive CC immunity thanks to Metalheads. So the question regarding Trickster Glass and Talent Surge has finally been answered. Maybe I should give my Nico comp another chance. The next 2 artifacts will involve mana gain. Here we have Infinity Force for Zed and Mana Zane for Jhin. Infinity Force is a pretty good all-rounder item that you can also receive from augments like Freaky Friday. Most units can use it, but the real power in this item lies in the 25 mana that it provides. This number is extremely important because it often allows you to reach thresholds for specific units that wouldn't be possible otherwise. Zed is the prime example here. He starts with 30 mana and has 50 maximum mana. If you give him a single Hand of Justice, then he is still 5 mana short and has to do an attack before he can cast his first shadow. Instead of stacking Hand of Justice, you can just give him a single Infinity Force so he can start anywhere you want and he will dash towards his target at the start of the fight. This can be useful in some cases to position yourself in a way to get Zed into the enemy backline early into the fight. Another great use for mana items is to give Jhin a Mana Zane. Since Jhin has fixed attack speed, he often wants items like Shojin to quickly get to 4 violence, so he starts dealing damage. With the help of Mana Zane, you can achieve this incredibly quick, which is super important considering how slow Jhin is compared to the average late game fight. Technically, the last part could have been part of a Mythbuster, but it fits just as well here. It's about Gold Collector and Goldmancer for EDM Lux. I've gotten a few reports from players saying they received way too much gold from a Goldmancer Lux, but unfortunately, from what I've tested so far, I could not confirm this. Every single kill done by an EDM unit, which sampled for Lux, when she had either Gold Collector or Goldmancer, did not result in any bonus gold. However, this does not mean that either of these items are bad for her. It's quite the opposite. You will likely generate a ton of gold with these items on Lux, since her ability is amazing at taking down squishy targets in the backline. As we recently learned, you don't even have to utilize her laser. This can work equally well when you sample for Jax. This has been more or less my TED talk about artifacts. Which artifact is your personal favorite? Should I have mentioned Anima Visage Garen? Let me know in the comments. I hope you learned something and see you next time.